can assist. If he has to come into that number 10 role towards the end of the game, he can make things happen. And I always feel when I watch him, he's got the personality to enjoy this. He won't fear coming to Anfield, and that is a massive factor for a lot of these Tottenham players today. Because there's always been question marks about Tottenham. Can they handle the big occasion? And we're certainly going to find out tonight if it doesn't get any more difficult than
So is that it? Defend well, sit in and hit on the break for you?
They're going to have to show an awful lot of character here. You can hear out there.
But do you think they'll sit back? Because they don't do it. I haven't seen them. There's not really.
They did a bit more at Brentford, though, didn't they?
False back. I don't think it's a tactic. Do you?
No, I don't see them sitting on the edge of the box and just waiting to counter. I don't. I see the fullbacks being in a lot more than what we've seen if it was a Doggy and Pedro Porro, and maybe that's why he's gone Archie Gray, because he's not going to come inside, and they're not going to leave Gakpo and Salah to isolate them. So they'll still look to go and get on the counter attack, and as Jamie just said there, that boy is special.
Tell you what, the other thing, which we haven't really mentioned at all, you need a bit of luck as well. Either way, go back to last night and Odegaard hitting the post.
It's a totally different game, and they're going to have to ride the... This game is going to be... Because it doesn't really change too much. Even if Tottenham score first, it's still going to be wide open, this game. It's going to be a brilliant night of football.
Oh, let me just clear up some of the details for you as well. Away goals don't count. It can go to extra time as well this evening. It doesn't go straight to penalties. It goes to extra time if level on aggregate. And I'm sure you're all on the edge of your seats waiting for the referee to talk us through.
I can't wait.
Any VAR decision. I know. Excitement never stops. Right then, Tottenham have a one-goal lead to defend. Let's join your commentary team. Alan Smith and first of all, Peter Drury.
Mark, thank you. Anfield poised on its emotional edge. A clutch semi-final at its biting point. Liverpool's spirit-lifting home advantage, Tottenham's fragile, precious goal advantage. Wembley is for just one of them. And so, what gives? Well, for this time of year, Arne Slot has a remarkably intact squad from which to select. He was caught yesterday about his choice of keeper, but he's chosen to bring back Caoimhin Kelleher. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the only big-name absentee, so Conor Bradley steps up. This, in fact, the back four that started last season's final. It's Curtis Jones for Alexis McAllister. Ryan Gravenberch only joined the League Cup run for the first leg of the semi-final. By contrast, Cody Gakpo has played throughout and is the competition's joint top scorer. And Darwin Núñez, scorer in the quarter-final at Southampton, starts up top, leaving Jota and Diaz on a strong Liverpool bench, which Slot suggested yesterday was the toughest element of his selection process. With a lead to defend and an ever-evolving squad dynamic, Ange Postecoglou would love Antonin Kinski to match his debut clean sheet from the first leg. There's an immediate debut here for Austrian Kevin Danso at centre-half. Archie Gray to full-back, Pedro Porro drops out. Pape Sarr was suspended for the first leg, but having scored at the weekend, he plays here instead of Lucas Bergvall. And with Dominic Solanke out of the picture, Richarlison, as at Brentford, operates at the sharp end. He has quite a scoring record at Anfield. Matisse Tell, another potential debutant, on a bench, also including first-leg scorer Bergvall. So, Alan, Liverpool obliged to score.
Yeah, and Darwin Núñez gets the shout, and he doesn't get too many these days, used more as an impact sub, but maybe Arne Slot sees these players' direct, powerful style as a good way to test Tottenham's makeshift defence. He might lack subtlety against some of his teammates at times, but you know he'll work those defenders hard. And Jed Spence, he did ever so well last week against Brentford's Brian and Bournemouth. Sat in, didn't commit, and didn't get beaten much either. He's quick, he's strong, and he'll also have to think quickly, seeing as he's facing Mo Salah. Huge challenge for him.
St James's Park last night set a mighty high bar for spine-tingling atmosphere. Anfield sets out to match it. Liverpool chasing every prize, Spurs thirsty for any prize. For the right, 38 days from now to face Newcastle United in the 65th Football League Cup final.
Yeah, and you get the feeling Arne Slot was really looking forward to this as one of his biggest nights yet as a Liverpool manager. Heard all about the famous atmospheres and was expecting one here.
Here's Mo Salah, who's prompted so many of the recent great atmospheres. By Ben Davis, left-sided centre-half. Danso to his right, and Archie Gray from right full-back from Spurs tonight. Here's Papsar, smooth finish from him at Brentford at the weekend. Suspended for the first leg.
Yeah, they've got more legs, obviously, with Papsar in there. No surprise that Postecoglou's gone for that midfield three rather than 2 and a 10 just ahead.
Right for Gakpo. Archie Gray alert. He has started 5 games this season from right full-back, all prior to Christmas, couple in Europe, couple actually in the early rounds of this competition. Won all 4 of those. Also started there when they lost to Bournemouth. There's Salah.
He's got a test for Jed Spence. Keeping his eye on the ball. Noticeable that he had a teammate supporting there, which he'll want every time when Salah comes at him.
Conor Bradley from right back for Liverpool in the absence of Alexander-Arnold. Virgil van Dijk, who won this trophy for Liverpool last year. Robertson ran it out. Brian Clough way back when, 20 years ago Mourinho, most recently Pep, the dominant figures of their age who launched a dynasty with a League Cup. Ange Postecoglou, like his opposite number this evening, looking for the first one.
There's a tangle with Virgil van Dijk there. Feeling his face.
And Richarlison, as a one-time Evertonian and indeed a 2-time Evertonian scorer on this ground, not to mention the goals he's also got here for Spurs, is not the most popular. And when he becomes entangled with Liverpool's iconic captain, there's only one crowd favourite.
Well, there is, and it's not the greatest of challenges, that from the Liverpool centre-half, but check complete.
Very little by way of sympathy. There was contact and there's ongoing debate, and it is tetchy from the outset.
Van Dijk just trying to let his man know he's there, but gotta be careful he doesn't cross that line.
Greg Pawson is the referee, in charge of the 2018 League Cup final, Arsenal-Manchester City. His only previous Spurs-Liverpool game was goalless, White Hart Lane, October 2015. A match famous as Jurgen Klopp's first in charge of Liverpool.
Kevin Danso there in the middle of Tottenham's defence. He's doing a lot of organising, a lot of talking as they squeezed up.
Bradley and Salah. This is the chaser. Kansky smartly off his line. Check, debutant in the first leg. Kept a clean sheet, looked composure itself. By Basuma, pursued by Richarlison, broke here for the repeatedly outstanding Kulusevski, outside of whom now is Gray, and he sought out Richarlison. Konaté tight at his back. Liverpool, of course, obliged to score this evening, and they have failed to score in just 2 of Arne Slot's 36 games so far, most recently, of course, at Spurs. They have scored 2 or more in 30 of his games. Kinski has kind of read that okay. So, of 36 results Liverpool have had this season so far in all competitions, 18, precisely half, would be good enough tonight to take them through without extra time. Gakpo tipped up by Kulusevski.
Yeah, it looks like being a tough night for Charles up against 2 top centre-halves. He's already felt Van Dijk's force, but he's not a natural centre-forward. It's a bit of a square peg in a round hole, but he's just going to do a job for the team.
Salah, Nunez, Szoboszlai. Salah deflection and took the pace off the ball, and Kinski gathered it with comfort.
Lovely bit of neat football that to set up the shot.
Szoboszlai. Robertson has gone inside of Gakpo here. It's Andy Robertson and Gakpo. Szoboszlai's got the ground, a little nudge perhaps from Son, nothing to concern the referee.
Been a strong start, hasn't it, from the home team, as you'd expect. They're getting down the sides with some incisive passing.
Asking for attention. Person meeting his request. As Tottenham's defenders and goalkeeper get to know each other. Constantly evolving area of the field for them. Nunez, though, the pick for Liverpool tonight. Alan, ahead of Jota, ahead of Diaz.
Yeah, maybe horses for courses against this makeshift Spurs defence. They can play the more direct pass to him, get forward a bit quicker perhaps. Jota, a much different prospect.
Here's how he got hurt.
Just the knee of Richarlison catching him.
Another disdainful look from Van Dijk. Nunez, one of several, of course, who were forced to miss last year's Carabao Cup final for Liverpool. On a missing list with Salah and Szoboszlai, Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, Jones and Jota. He'd want a piece of it this time round, if it were to come to pass. For now, Tottenham's lead remains intact. Great. Richarlison stepping away from Konate, but having retreated from an offside position.
It's going to be a challenge, get the ball into his feet, giving him quality service.
For Jones, well seen by Kulusevski. Gray got into trouble. Davis came across to dig him out.
Yeah, risky ball, just trying to feed it through to Kulusevski. Ben Davies, does ever so well. He's on his toes, makes up the ground.
57 years ago this week, great-uncle Eddie scored a goal in the second leg of a League Cup semi-final. It took Leeds through at Arsenal's expense. Back in 1968. And he also took the corner in the final, from which Terry Cooper scored the winner. Spence with the throw. Okay, seeing it back.
Yeah, a lot of space there between Kulusevski and his midfield. They didn't all squeeze.
Here's Gakpo. And here's Nunez. Tough by Bentancur, away by Gray. Bradley for Salah, and Bradley keeps on going. And release Liverpool a corner. Rich Mo Salah. Szoboszlai also in attendance. Szoboszlai, who played it in, it got its near post flick. Kinski couldn't gather cleanly. And Bissouma belts it into the clouds.
It was all a bit messy, wasn't it, from Spurs? Didn't get the initial contact, couldn't get a clearance, and then Kinski comes for it and makes a mess of it, fumbling. Should be collecting that. Gives Ben Davies a whack for his troubles.
So he's going to be okay. Clean sheet, of course, in the Premier League at the weekend. Ben Davies's forward is anything but clean, and he is going to need attention before he's allowed to carry on.
Well, I want to make this quick.
Craig Pawson looks as though he's prepared to delay the restart to allow some patching up here.
Yeah, depending on how bad it was, he might have had to have gone off, which wouldn't have been to Postecoglou's liking that. Ben Davies started the game well.
Well, Spurs do get through centre-halves like they're going out of fashion. Ben Davies, I've also almost come to forget, is there only really as an understudy in the absence of Van der Ven and Dragusin and Romero. He's got a new partner this evening. Kevin Danso's last game in English football actually was for Southampton in an FA Cup tie against Spurs, January 2020. Hasenhüttl took him off towards the end of that game and he never played again. Of course, COVID hit a few weeks after that and interrupted plenty more than his fledgling career at that point.
Heck of a debut, isn't it? And he would have come to the club knowing the score once the two first choice centre-halves are fit.
He had a pretty eventful 10 games for the Saints, actually. He was sent off against Manchester United in his second Premier League start. He played the second half of Southampton's 9-0 home defeat against Leicester. Only conceded 4 in his half, it was 5 before he came on. But was a part of what was actually a very watchable Austrian national team at the Euros last summer under Ralf Rangnick.
He hasn't played for 2 or 3 weeks, so much sharpness. Might need a bit of time to get his second win as well. We'll have to count for 30 seconds as well, haven't we?
30 seconds aren't up and Spurs are defending a man shy. Danso got his work done. And Davis has now been invited back on. Effenberg again.
Just keeps on coming back. They can't play any football in Liverpool's half at the moment, Spurs.
Here's Richarlison though. Effenberg nagging at his back. Free kick given.
He did well just to slow down a touch there, Richarlison, because he didn't have too much in the way of support. Realised that.
4 goals at Anfield for Richarlison, who scored on both of his visits here for Spurs. And a couple for Everton, one in a derby win for Everton and Anfield, and those are few and far between.
This is a difficult free kick, central, too far out to shoot.
Flicked in by Son, and nudged behind by Conor Bradley for a Tottenham corner in front of the Kop.
They've done well at corners this season, Spurs. Had some success.
So Kulusevski at the goalkeeper's back, Bissouma on the goalkeeper's toes, Danso and Davis both in the thick of it. Son sorting out the television logistics. There's Son Heung-min. Davis is looking to get an eyebrow on it.
A good header from Nunez, that was. Certainly centre forward to do. And he's called back to the penalty area.
Soboslai. Effenberg. Bradley left it for Salah. Konate. Prevented from advancing by Kulusevski. Konate. Salah. Bradley. Passed away by Sarr, who collided with him. And Liverpool had a free kick. Conor Bradley has had the bulk of the action in this competition for Liverpool this season. He started 3, Trent the other. Liverpool with 2 outstanding fillers of that role. No panic these days when Trent is missing. Soboslai, either side of a dead ball. Soboslai plays it in, and Spence repels it.
They've probably got the advantage, the height advantage in those situations, Liverpool. I think of Nunez and Van Dijk, who's got a great habit of getting his head on the ball. Konate.
No surprise either that it's Caoimhin Kelleher in goal for Liverpool. A competition specialist in the last 2 finals, 2 clean sheets at Wembley for him in League Cup finals, and indeed a penalty in that extended shootout in 2022. Alisson only rested, again no alarm. Dijk. Gakpo. Driving up Gray. Support from Curtis Jones. Cody Gakpo. One more from Curtis Jones. Conor Bradley. Mo Salah. And driving at Spence. Bradley. Robertson was poised, but Gray was aware of him.
They're defending quite narrow, Spurs, the width of the penalty area, so there will be opportunities for the wide players to lift the heads, have time, try and pick the spot.
Soboslai's corner, Richarlison's comfortable clearing header. Soboslai. Leading off Kulusevski, Dominic Soboslai. Davis made the block, Van Dijk gathered, Ryan Gravenberch!
Caught that.
Bounce back off Danso.
I think Spurs would have gained a little bit of confidence from the way that they dug in at Brentford, kept a clean sheet. They sat fairly deep and cleared everything that came their way. But of course this is another level, and they're coming under increasing pressure here. Got to find an outlet. It's not been easy for that Spurs three-man midfield to get on the ball, to work through the lines. There, Bentancur getting robbed. Things are happening too quickly for them.
There's Jones, busy and purposeful. Yes, for Soboslai. Up to Bradley. Too sharp for Gravenberch. He acknowledges what was evidently a good thought. Gravenberch did start last year's final, but got injured very early on. So got it back from Kulusevski. Kept on marching. Sarr. Son from wide, Spence beyond him. Here comes Jed Spence. Lifted out by Konate. That's a corner.
Yeah, rare chance for Jed Spence to get forward. They've been a bit more circumspect last match, and here the full-backs sat in next to the centre-halves, but there was a chance there for him.
Son rips it in. Again near post for Liverpool, back in by Davis. Nunez away, Salah forward. Dabbed into the instep of Soboslai, who couldn't take it with him. And Spence brings it out, Kulusevski, that's sharp, Bissouma, Richarlison up ahead of him. And Son is Sarr. Can clear.
Yeah, poor pass in the end, but it's been a good couple of minutes for Spurs, much better. Seeing more of the ball and seeing it in Liverpool's half.
Gravenberch. And Salah. Mo Salah deflection at it. Bobbles tauntingly wide.
Well, again, Danso on this occasion trying the ball that gets cut out, and they're backtracking quickly. Liverpool so good in these turnover situations. That nick off Basuma causes a few problems, a few panicky moments from Kinski maybe.
Spurs are Salah's second favourite opponent. Only against Manchester United has he scored more goals than he has against Tottenham. Jones. Ravenberg. From Bradley, out by Spence. Van Dijk. It's clear by Danso. And now the long-legged Sarr. He ran into traffic. Darwin Núñez. Dominic Szoboszlai. Jones for Robertson. And Robertson can heave it in. And Gakpo can turn. And Núñez. He bounced out kindly for Kulusevski, and now Richarlison can look the other way.
It's 2 against 7 here.
Don't want to keep hold of the ball.
He's done well.
Fantastic well to win a corner. This has been checked and cleared.
Yeah, arm tucked in, no question of a handball that, but Spurs just hanging on by the skin of the teeth at the moment, getting blocks in.
But it is they, Spurs, who have a corner. And by Kulusevski. There again from the near post by Darwin Núñez.
Didier Drogba did that superbly for Chelsea for a number of years at the near post.
Richarlison, Gray, Richarlison, Kulusevski, nicked away by Konate, on hurriedly by Szoboszlai. Beautiful touch from Salah, moved on in a hurry by Bradley. Salah looked to give it him back, but Davis had adopted the right position. Salah. Konate. Van Dijk. Robertson. Gakpo. From Núñez was meat and drink for Kinski.
He's got about 3 Spurs players round him here. Núñez still manages to win it, getting a good header.
And so, Kulusevski. Insofar as Spurs have an outlet, it's tending to be him. Forward this time, Havenberg. Salah! Szoboszlai! Flags up. He's not so sure.
He did look a mile off to the naked eye, but so often you look at the replay and it's much, much tighter. It's a lovely pass from Mo Salah, but he is off. It's a good spot from that assistant on the far side.
Dominic Szoboszlai half a yard ahead of himself. And half an hour into the second leg, 2 hours into a 3-hour tie. Liverpool still trail by Lucas Bergvall's late first leg strike. Richarlison and Son. Good protection from Jones.
They've been better, Tottenham, but finding it extremely difficult to test Kelleher.
Gakpo, Curtis Jones, reached by Bissouma.
He felt it came off Jones last.
Jones quickly on with the corner, Szoboszlai. In by Robertson, Mo Salah from what was a prohibitive angle.
Yeah, it might have been different on his left peg, but it's a lovely pick out for Manny Robertson, this. Just try and squeeze at the far post. Son was the closest to him.
Well, in yielding that corner, Yves Bissouma was at full stretch, and it may be in that moment that he did himself a little damage.
Well, they can ill afford to lose experienced players. I mean, you look at Liverpool's bench and it's incredibly strong. Tottenham's not quite so.
He and you, Alan, saw him in a terrific battle with, was it Vitaly Janelt at Brentford at the weekend? Yves Bissouma had a right ding-dong going on.
Yes.
Spence ran into trouble. Nunez from wide. Canate. Jones caught on the ball. Kulusevski, Bissouma. He's handed it back to Gravenberch. Now Salah to worry Spence. In by Salah, Gakpo! Liverpool snatched the lead on the night. They have parity back in the tie. And Cody Gakpo becomes by himself the competition's top scorer.
Well, it was coming, wasn't it? I think everybody in this stadium could see it. Bissouma giving it away. They've been horrid, rushed into misplacing passes, Spurs, and this time Liverpool make them pay. He just maintains his position. Gakpo pulls off the back of Archie Gray. It's one of those finishes where you can easily drag it, pull it wide of that near post, but he's in such good form, isn't he, Cody Gakpo? Especially here in front of his own fans, he's deadly.
And so that renders it essentially a 1 hour, one-off cup tie for which Liverpool have home advantage. Skipped by Spence, out by Van Dijk. Cody Gakpo, 10 goals in his last 10 Anfield games, 5 goals in the Carabao Cup this year, 2 against West Ham, 2 at Brighton. Leaving behind him on behalf of Arne Slot, Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal and Tom Ince of Watford, each of whom until this evening were jointly at the top with him.
Well, it's going to feel like a long 10 minutes now for Spurs to half-time, you feel. Got to hang in there.
Kop has found its voice. That home advantage feels substantial. Mud in the northeast, the Gallagher end refused to let Newcastle tire. There's a not dissimilar dynamic now. Merseysiders didn't keep it in. And this indeed will be a trying hour. If they come through this intact, a mighty effort. Here's Cody Gakpo, Ravenberg, and Salah loftily into the mix, and Kinski was confident. And when Liverpool score first, they almost always win.
Oh, that's not clever.
Ravenberg, Salah, Szoboszlai, Ravenberg, Gakpo, Ravenberg, turning up the wick again since scoring. Konate, Gakpo, and Robertson, cleared by Danso. Salah. Just can keep it from Bradley.
Well, it's really hard work out there for those Spurs players. They have eyes in the backs of the heads, being pushed and pulled all over the shop.
Liverpool have won their last 2 League Cup semi-finals over 2 legs, against Arsenal in 2022, against Fulham last year. Van Dijk. Conor Bradley. Mo Salah. Son helping out the full-back. Getting into trouble himself.
Fans enjoyed that on the far side.
Picked out Son Heung-min, did Conor Bradley, in the way I think earlier in the season, didn't he have a moment with Kylian Mbappe, which lifted the whole mood of that very special evening. And his is the name on the lips of the Kop now. Szoboszlai's corner. Curtis Jones, Kinski came to punch. And the flag's up.
Well, there's been a real swagger about this Liverpool performance in the first half, and a composed swagger as well. They know they're a good team. Kevin Danso just gets distracted by Nunez, and it allows the ball to go all the way to the goal scorer. A chance to clear it, turned down.
Out by Konate. Here comes another red wave. Ravenberg. Salah. Ravenberg, lovely feet from Ryan Ravenberg, and he's got himself a corner last off Jed Spence. For Tottenham, this must feel unrelenting. Szoboszlai delivers. Gorgeous take from Salah. Jones, Gravenberg. Szoboszlai. Spence for the Charlotte.
That's what they do in these positions now, though. He's done well, but so often they've had nothing on the man in possession, and so often they've given the ball away. Really did there.
Kulusevski. Chance to threaten now. Dejan Kulusevski got under it.
Well, if he can get more of the ball in those positions, anything's possible for Spurs. Capable of the extraordinary.
Well, this remains beautifully poised. Either of them could be facing Newcastle at Wembley Stadium on the 16th of March, the Carabao Cup final, live for you on Sky Sports Football that day. Last year he was a Dutch Cup winner with Feyenoord. Yes, a year ago was quarter-final week. They beat AZ 2-0 at De Kuip. Liverpool with a comforting lead on the night and parity overall, can lead now on a recent history against Spurs, which favours them hugely. 14 unbeaten against Tottenham at Anfield.
Yeah, they've been so impressive in this first half, stamped the class on this contest.
Harry Redknapp was the last Tottenham manager to win on this ground. George Graham was the last Tottenham manager to win a League Cup tie on this ground. On the way to winning the competition with Spurs in 1999. Charleston's gone down, and again, the Kop is not inclined to sympathise. Indeed, it roars Liverpool forward. Jones. Gakpo, Salah! That is great acrobatics from Kinski.
Might this just have bounced up and under the crossbar had he not touched it, Kinski. Down to 10 men Spurs with Charleston on the deck. Sometimes those are really difficult for keepers, and it was on target, it would have gone in. A vital fingertip this from the Spurs keeper. I don't think Danso would have stopped it.
3 clean sheets in 6 appearances for Spurs before tonight. Antonin Kinski is quickly earning approval. Clean sheets against Liverpool, at Tamworth, at Brentford.
He's coming off, isn't he?
He's coming off, and what that means is that we are, as an English footballing public, going to introduce ourselves to Mathys Tel, who only last week was playing Champions League football for Bayern Munich. He is absolutely oven ready. He hasn't been scoring goals this season, but he can play right the way across the front three, off either flank or through the middle.
Yeah, I don't think you'd say he's a natural centre forward, but he's played there. He's versatile. What a chance for him.
His first job, if he's permitted on in time, will be to help defend the corner. Tottenham's newest acquisition, 19 years old, Frenchman. Bayern Munich could have ultimately cost Spurs 50 million. Nice corner. Got another bite at it. It's come down with ice on it for Kinski.
He wasn't aware of those around him, was he? Because there wasn't a red shirt nearby. Could have collected it fairly comfortably, but easy for me to say up here. Van Dijk's giving it up.
Well, a great big chunk of stoppage time. And Liverpool have Tottenham where they want them. Robertson with whip. As far as Gravenberg.
He's taking up Charlison's position through the middle. They've not altered their shape, Tottenham.
For Bayern against... Van Dijk showed a bit of that to Kulusevski. There's Basuma, Bentancur. Force back for Bayern Munich last week in the Champions League against Slovan Bratislava. Tell played off the left. Fouled by Kinski. Son's offside. He played off the left in a four which read Zane, Elise, Muller and Tell behind Harry Kane. Formidable front five for Bayern Munich, which makes it, given that Koeman and Musiala are also in that mix, all the more understandable that he might go elsewhere to try and find more first-team minutes. And Serge Gnabry. Jones. Gakpo. Gravenberg. Conor Bradley, Curtis Jones attacking it. Shoving it behind for another corner.
Well, if Spurs get to half-time just 1-0 down, they've had a result here. Been under so much pressure.
Slow outswing, lots of outswing. Jones met it, Gravenberg. Wide, Bradley.
How to turn the tide. Those players, though, for him, can't forget that it's still 1-1. It must feel like they're trailing by some distance the way they've been giving the run around at times, but still very much in this tie.
Arne Ramos took Spurs to their last winning final in 2008. It was via a 5-1 thumping of Arsenal in the second leg of the semi-final. This, if Postecoglou cracks it, will be a different animal altogether.
Kicking towards the the Kop in the second half. You wonder how Spurs are going to keep them at bay. They've got to try and find a cutting edge out there. You feel they'll have to score from open play rather than taking it to penalties.
Spotted the run from Robertson there, but so did Archie Gray. Robertson had run offside anyway. Robertson, last seconds of the half. Gravenberg, Bradley. Liverpool's final raid, Salah. Bradley kept on running. The half-time whistle. Work for Liverpool still to do, but no question the first half has belonged to them, and by quite a margin. Cody Gakpo scored the only goal 4 minutes after the half hour, which has Liverpool ahead on the night and level on aggregate. It's still beautifully poised at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Spurs 0, 1 each overall.